I have invested in a previous 6-month coaching course, a 1-month intensive coaching course. I'm currently on a 12-month intensive kind of coaching course. And this course has been the one that's got me a client the quickest. In fact, really, it kind of was 2 clients, but a high ticket, paying for a higher ticket cost that we obviously discussed in, your actions me to implement. My other 12-month one has only yielded me, a client that was half that price, and I'm now 7 months into that. So, getting those 2 people technically in 3 months, it's been a no-brainer. Obviously, to up my prices, we did that. It worked, so that's, off the back of you, I got one of my highest paying clients, and I've not done that in the full 12 months that I've been doing this. So, something's obviously worked and it resonated for someone, and that client that did come through was off the back of seeing things that I was doing on LinkedIn, certain posts that I was putting out there, certain videos, and she contacted me and actually physically texted me to get me to chat to her rather than just actually messaging me on LinkedIn. Hi, I am Sam, and previous to joining the LinkedIn Booster program, my life and business beforehand was very scatty. It was very all over the place. I was in a bit of a flap. I didn't really have any direction. I was pretty much flinging mud at all the walls. Nothing was really sticking. I was trying to do a lot of different methods, using different platforms, and I wasn't really gaining momentum anywhere. So when I joined, it really gave me the focus to hone in the skills that were required to kind of master this one platform, because this is where I felt that my potential high ticket ICPs could be, to start having those conversations and to, essentially be speaking to more of these people and essentially then convert them into sales. In honesty, before joining, I was adamant that I wouldn't be joining anything else. But after our discussions, it did become apparent that something had to change in terms of what I was doing. And you offered just a really good structure in terms of making it very understandable of where I am now and the journey that you'd be taking me on to get me to an end result, which for me is really, really important when I'm choosing someone to work with, because I'd like to think that I'd like to know the path I'm going on, and I've chosen programs before where that hasn't happened, hence why, throwing mud at the walls, whereas this really honed me in on what was necessary and what exactly was expected. So this is different from other things that I've done before, in quite a few ways, to be fair. So this is probably the most direct kind of coaching approach that I've had, in terms of actually having a structure, knowing exactly what I'm covering for all 12 weeks, knowing exactly, being clear on where I'm starting, and then being very clear on what, a potential end goal looks like, and actually being able to, speak to you one-on-one every week, rather than being like in a group situation where you don't always get your questions answered. Everyone's at a different pace. This is, we've made this bespoke to me as we've gone along, because obviously there's been different parts that have resonated as to the journey that, I've needed to go on, and you've happily, moved things around for me to make it so that it impacts me the quickest way possible. And, I really do appreciate that. So yeah, there's a structure, but it's also fluid and flexible in terms of that person as well. In terms of what I've learned from everything, it's just making things a lot more simple. Like for to actually have conversations with people, for me, was the scary part. I was always dreading that, that imposter syndrome that comes in, where you think, I'm not good enough, I'm not qualified enough to be speaking to these people. And as soon as they send like a message back, and I'm thinking, right, overanalyzing, how's the best way to now approach this and actually send a reply that doesn't turn them off in whatever way, and to actually have just really simple, scripts to run by that aren't overcomplicated. They don't need rocket science. They're easy enough to follow along, which some of them that I've had, aren't as easy to follow along. And it draws the questions out in a really approachable way, rather than being salesy and potentially a bit standoffish for people. When I won that high ticket client, I was actually kind of nervous in the beginning, because it felt amazing that I'd done it. It wasn't instantaneous. I had to wait 24 hours for it to come back to me, and I think then just waiting for the money to actually come through was the most nerve-wracking, thinking, oh my God, she's forgotten about it, she don't want to really do it. But then when it did come, it was like, oh, that was actually easier than what I thought, and I need to just stop overthinking. If people want it, they'll do it, and not putting that pressure on myself. And you even said, chill, it's going to happen, it'll come. And it did. It was just because she was busy all that Sunday. So and this is me just watching my bank account. It's not there yet. But it did. It came in. So yeah. There's no reason why it's not, repeatable again. But yeah, it's given me so much more knowledge. I think the overall value that I got from the LinkedIn Booster program, it surpassed expectations. It has. It was, dealing with yourself every week. We do a Friday evening, and it's generally the highlight of my Friday because it gives me something to look forward to. I've got that time to get everything done, and it's then a nice time to reflect back on everything that I have done. Then in terms of, the emails that you get straight from the team as well, they're generally instantaneous within not even half an hour of you finishing. So you've already got that information to go and implement straight away. There's things to work on straight away. There's been things where we've maybe sidetracked on certain things when I've had other challenges that have come up, and you've happily talked me through them. You've given me above and beyond what the program was intended, and it's not gone unnoticed. It's really truly valued all the time that you have put in. We've had sessions that have overrun, and you've been totally cool about that, and it's been really, really appreciated because it's really helped to overcome some of the obstacles, as well as giving me a bit of a plan of actually how to move past them where I've not really had that. This is going to be the main platform to bring in clients. Get good at it, and get good at it quick, because it's such an opportunity that you might as well just jump on it as soon as, because as far as I know, this is kind of one of the best programs that's coming up around LinkedIn. I've heard about others, but they've missed other bits that you've delivered. This seems to encompass everything, and obviously as times change, you change the program to obviously fit that, when as soon as new little things come up, you get it in there to make sure that everything's up to date as the platform changes. It's kind of a no-brainer. I don't think a lot of us really know the full capabilities of what LinkedIn can do and what it can deliver. It's given me a whole new view of LinkedIn. If I was to summarize the LinkedIn Booster program, I would say that it is definitely fun, it's exciting, it's absolutely value packed, and it's just been an absolute fantastic learning experience.